Hey everybody, Dr. Sanderson here. Welcome to Unit 2. So I really, before I get into Unit 2 briefly, just really enjoyed the work that you did in Unit 1. Thought you all brought up some really good incidents or cases of social media affecting various things in sport. And in Unit 2, we are going to look at specifically the area of sports media. And so when you look at the way that social media has affected sports media, a lot of different implications are there. So if we start with broadcast, right? So some of you may have seen the stories I put out about how during the Summer Olympics this year, NBC is going to be releasing content through Snapchat through the live story feature, which NBC has been really secretive and really guarded with their coverage of the Olympics. So this is kind of a really groundbreaking moment. But I think what it shows is that so many people, so many viewers are consuming content. They want content through mobile. And Snapchat is a really great platform to see that. So look for that to play out in the future with other kind of sports mega events. So will we see something like that at the Super Bowl? Will we see something like that at the World Cup or the Final Four or the college football playoffs? So definitely, that's I think a really interesting trend as well. Another example that you'll read about in the readings is that the NFL is going to stream Thursday night games on Twitter. So, fans will now be able to just consume, the Thursday night matchups, again through mobile via Twitter. Something else you'll read about that kind of has to do with broadcasting and social media is the effect of emerging platforms like Periscope. So, with the live stream function, a lot of sports organizations are concerned about how that's affecting broadcast rights. So, for instance, I personally know of people who have watched UFC fights by basically getting their Periscope app up, holding it up to their TV, and then all their friends can watch the UFC fight without having to pay the pay-per-view. So, sports organizations are trying to figure out how do we get around things like that. You'll read a story, you'll see a link to a story about a reporter who was removed from a golf event because she was taking clips via Periscope. So the live streaming aspect is something that's really going to be interesting to watch as well. And then if we look at, well, how has social media changed the job of being a sports reporter? So if you talk to pretty much any sports reporter, they'll tell you that they pretty much have to be on Twitter all day, every day, out of fear of missing a story, because that's where sports news breaks. So their work routine has really changed, and it's become very tied to social media, in particular Twitter. Now, at the same time, that's also led to a lot of speculative reporting. So, for those of you, many of you mentioned you use Twitter and you follow sports reporters. So, you might see a lot of things about sources are saying this, or I'm hearing this. And so, we've seen a lot of speculative reporting kind of emerge. And in some cases, reporters have actually been duped by fans who have put out fake content or fake tips on social media, which ESPN in particular has reported. And then that's turned out not to be true. So, that rush to be first with the story in the 24/7 news cycle we have now, that definitely plays a role as well. Another thing that's kind of happened to sports reporters is that now athletes and other sports personalities like owners and coaches and even fans can call them out on social media for things they don't like that they write. And that happens pretty regularly. And the great thing about that for fans is that we kind of see that all play out in front of us, and we can actually join in and participate, in the conversation when it's happening. So that kind of accountability, for lack of a better word, is something interesting to kind of keep an eye on also. And then finally, something that you'll look at in the discussion forum is, kind of hateful tweets that are sent to sports media members. In particular, this tends to skew more towards female sports media members. So you're going to look at a campaign that was put out by two female sports journalists, Julie DeCaro and Sarah Spain. And they kind of branded it with the hashtag more than mean. And so in the discussion forum, you'll respond to some questions about that campaign and the video that they did. Your initial post will be due by by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. And then your two response posts will be due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So, I'm really looking forward to your thoughts on this topic. Social media has had a huge impact on sports media, everything from our consumption of sport to the way the people who cover sport present stories and information to us as fans. So, looking forward to what you have to say on that, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.